Okay, at Earl Hill Studios we've got our next task or commission to undertake. A lovely piece of Kauri Pine here, as well as another slab here that will be utilised for, I've chopped that down, process all that up into legs, stretchers and the base for a tabletop here. Now, we'll go through the process, but first of all, we've got to try and seal up. The client insists on having this kind of pretty bad rot, so we're going to seal it up with the product we've got there, Norglass and Norseal. I've not used it before, so that'll be interesting, and that'll be the first challenge. And the other thing is, the client really wants to have some features in there, so we've got to work out, put these seashells embedded in here. Not all of them perhaps, but as many as practical and many as I might make it nice and pretty. They live by the seaside, lovely old couple, and I look forward to getting this underway. Okay, so just show you here, see the movement in this wood here. It's quite rotten, as we said. We just need to record that just so we know where we are. Just lobbed another end, a bit off the end there, and marked out maybe some radius there. That's maybe about where the rounds are going to end up. This is going to be the top of the table. So all I can do is mask it all up, tip it over, and use that hardening, the sealer, and see how we go with that. Okay, so we effectively used the whole of this. That's 1 litre of Norseal timber sealer. Seems to have done the trick. We've got a fairly hard surface there now. So, mind you, I feel like I could have put even more on, but I just had none left. Probably going to have to get another tin to do the other side once we get to that point. But right now, that can stay where it is for a couple of days and let it dry hard. Okay, so we've got to flatten the bottom side of this piece of Kauri after I've sealed it all up. As you can see, the sealer has worked reasonably well. I've still got to do the other side. And this is the bottom, so you don't have to take too much concern, but I would just like to get it nice and flat so we can get this finished sealing. So it just gives you a bit of an idea of the slab flattening. My equipment's very rudimentary, just got a single axis. Some of the stuff you see on YouTube has dual axis and CNC machines and what have you. Unfortunately, in this little workshop, this is what we've got. May advance to a dual axis at some stage, but really, when you don't do it that often, this single axis is just fine. Anyways, I won't bore you with the rest, so here's it for now. So as you can see, we've got the slab flattened to a degree. I've got to take a little bit more out of this again, but just using the good old Triton slab flattener with the big flattening rig on there. We've managed to get that down reasonably well. The sealer's holding up. Pretty happy with most of it, but just a little bit here, which is still a little bit, seems to be still a little bit untidy there. So I think I've probably just got to get a little bit more sealer and something just to hold that together. The resin will hold it together as well. but the more that we can get on there, the better. So, as I described earlier, it's Kauri Pine, and the client is wanting to have this effect on the surface. This is the bottom, so this is something like it's going to look like on the top. So we're just going to have a look at this on the other side. Just flip them over. Looks like it's pretty ordinary, as you can see. That's what the underside started out as. So we sealed everything up. I'm hoping we can do the same again. First things first, I'm just going to flatten this all off to get it back to something workable. Okay, so I'm going to seal the bottom of this just so I can get a pour in the other side. I've just got some mould release here. Put plenty on. Can't have it too much. You just don't want that sticking. Hold the resin in. Now, of course, that there, we need something just to, so we don't get too much runoff. No more. All we need is a bit of no more gaps on here. Just squeeze them in there. Makes a little bit of a barrier so that we don't lose anything. Nothing worse than losing all of your resin. It's quite expensive stuff and too expensive to lose, apart from the fact you lose a couple of days work as well. That's it there. There we are. Will it leak or not? Only time will tell. So I've ground a little bit more out here. Not exactly sure how it's going to look in the end. However, what you see is what you get. Client wants the effect of the rotten timber. So we'll seal that up, and then we'll put a clear glass epoxy in there. Well, not glass. We'll put some shallow pour epoxy in there first, just to get rid of all that, fill all that up and see what it looks like. See here, we also got some seashells to set in, so we'll have to route out a few other bits and pieces once we've sealed it up. Route them out and place them in position. I've got quite a few, so that might hide a few of those sins, and we'll see how that looks. Okay, so there we have it, another full litre of mill glass. Can't quite get the picture of that. There we go. Mill glass wood sealer. Incredible. Just soaking it up like water. Anyway, hopefully that's it. So at this stage of the project, we're just setting in the required seashells that the client is seeking. The wood's hardened up enough. There's still a little bit of dry rot in there. But I think the casting resin will have to seal a bit of that up as well. So that's where we're at. As you can see, I've got the router out. A little burr on the end there, just to round over some of these hard corners and maybe soften it up a little bit. But I guess that's as best as I can do, I'm afraid. So we're in a world of pain here this morning. The resin works have gone wrong. Trying to seal up this piece of Kauri Pine. As you can see, I have all the shells set in, and until that point everything was good. I'm going to have to chew it all out. As you see, it's all cracked. The air bubbles that will come out are probably as a result of the rotten timber that we're trying to deal with. At the client's request, she wanted that to keep that in there. But I guess we'll live and learn and just have to take it from there, I guess. Chew it all out and start again. The end results on this side. So we've got all these seashells in here. And I'll just get you in a little bit closer. So you can see, I've tried grinding out quite a bit of the resin, but I've decided just to route it all out. Take the big router, get it all out. But as you can see right here, there's so much air bubbles that just are sitting within the shells themselves. So we're going to have to come up with a new plan to send the shells out. I must say that this sort of timber was so rotten, and you've seen the footage beforehand. Very, very hesitant to take this sort of stuff on ever again. However, we'll push through. We'll get this done. But no matter what it's worth, it's probably a bit of a loss. In a lot of time involved. We certainly have factored in. We might be able to recoup some of the material. Anyways, you live and learn. Okay, so we've got this piece back to where I wanted it. As you can see there, we've set a lot more shells in there, and that's pretty much hiding a few sins from the first pour, which went exothermic on me. You've seen that bit of footage. Unfortunately, so yeah, I had to dig it all out and start again. There's still a few little air bubbles trapped in there. They're barely visible, but if the client looks really close, she might be able to see them, but I guess that's as good as it gets, to be honest. That was just a rotten piece of timber. So we managed to seal that up with about 5 or 6 litres of resin and sealer. Man, what a job. And then we move on to this large chunk of Kauri Pine. So we've got to get the legs and stretchers and everything out of this piece. So it's a coffee table, so I'm pretty sure I can get 4 turned legs out of this, plus the stretchers and the base, make up the base. So there we go. That's where we're up to. So moving on with the base, I've chopped a couple of pieces up now of this plank. It is very knotty, so a couple of these I was going to use for the legs to turn up. The knot isn't a real issue, it's just that I don't really want too much to take away, or your eye to be drawn to the legs or the base of the whole thing, to what the top looks like. So I just want to be able to get a nice plain field. However, I have had to sacrifice a few pieces here, so some of these knots I just go right through. So as far as I'm turning them as well, we'll be able to polish them nicely. But yeah, just don't want them to draw the eye too much. So that'll be a nice tapered leg. I'll go up to my mate's place up next door. He's got a big lathe up there, so I'll go up there and turn them up in the next couple of days. In the meantime, I'll keep moving on with the base of the Good morning at Earl Hill Studios. We've just been working on our Kauri Pine piece. Can't see much from here, but we turned up the legs yesterday. I don't have a lathe in the workshop, but my good friend and neighbour up the road has allowed me to use his big machine up there. So very basic legs, nothing fancy. We just didn't want to get too technical. I haven't used the lathe for some years, so it's nice to get my hand back in again. So we've made up all the legs there. I got my skirts or aprons all ready to go. They'll all be jointed up with a domino joint and a couple of pocket hole screws. The side of the base has all been sealed with the Norglass sealer, and I'll get that ready to put a coat of epoxy on just to seal up underneath. This will be the bottom of it, so it doesn't matter not too special. So we'll get that sealed up later on today. Just with the wood turning, yeah. So found a couple of things with massive big knots as we got into the turning. Didn't look too pleasant, so yeah, just went back and started again, and hopefully found another little knot here, but I'm hoping to be able to get away with that one and this one here. I just don't want it to draw anyone's eye. The feature of the table will be the tabletop once we get that done with all the lovely seashells. So here we go. We're just getting everything ready to do a second flood coat, and that should seal and complete the top. And over here we've just got to get a first seal coat on it on my legs, which I've finished up today. All the aprons come up nicely, very solid. You've seen the joinery in there, so we've got a domino joint and some pocket holes up and down, solid as, and of course your mitre corners, that ain't moving anywhere. So that's it for now. We'll get the seal coat on. Okay, so this morning we've put a couple of finishing coats on these legs and the base and the aprons here. Little just water-based polyurethane over the mill glass resin seal, so that should shore all that up. And the final bits here are just screwing off the base with our little Z clips, which allow for a little bit of contraction with the timbers. And it's solid resin at this stage. It must be about 8 litres of resin I have to use to seal all this up. It was a challenge and a half, and to be honest, although I've learnt a lot, I have to say I give it serious thought about doing something like this again. It's okay. I'll make a few bucks out of it, and that's fine. But for the hours I put in, just resealing, dealing with air bubbles, which has virtually been impossible, because no matter what I did, I still had some micro bubbles hanging around, which is not satisfying. But having said that, I challenge anyone else to take this one on. I'm not albeit experienced with resins and what have you. I've done a few, but like I say, be very, very hesitant to take on this challenge again. All right, so we're going to tip him over and declare that we are done. Okay, come on, baby. Come on. So heavy. Okay, so there we have it. I'll get it out and dressed up shortly, and we'll have a better look at it. I don't know, just like I say, need a bit of a dust off, but still a few little glitches in there with the final pour, but oh no, man, what do you do? I had to rub that back 5 times. As good as it is. So there we have it. Kauri Pine coffee table, seashells to order, as well as the dry rot timber, all sealed up. Okay. So yesterday, when we thought we were pretty finished. You might remember there, right about here, there was a bit of a ripple and a little imperfection there. Sadly, I tried to buff all that out, or sand it all out of the resin and get that looking nice. And yeah, so got a bit aggressive and went through the timber. So I've had to reseal all that, sadly. So I've had to sand all that back again. Not desirable, or pain in the butt. But anyway, we've resealed it, so we got it back again, and we'll have to do another flood coat. So it might be an opportunity just to show you how we go about the flood coat as well. Okay, so here's the piece in the workshop. We're pretty much finished now. I'll just refer back to this this problem child. This is where it all began. Sealing up that piece of spalted timber. Well, spalted is rotten. As you can see here, probably just left a little bit in there just for an observation. But that's what happened all the way through the whole piece. So it wasn't pretty, and so yeah, it wasn't pretty, and we eventually got there. So several recoats of sealer. We had issues at the end there where I sort of burnt through to the timber, so I had to seal that up again and re-flood coat it, so put it back another couple of days. But in any case, the legs turned up nicely. It's a lovely solid fit. I'm very happy with the legs and just the size of the legs in coordination with the tabletop. I think they've come out nicely. Gave that a bit of thought, really. But in the end, that's it. We are done. So in the end, I'd like to thank Brenda and Don, who asked me to complete this mission. I've said quite a few times through the whole process, would I take this on again? And I was just, yeah, no way. But you know what? The more you do this, the more you learn. And I think if someone asked me again, yeah, of course, why not? You can't go through all this pain without sort of applying it to new circumstances. So I wish them well. I'm ready to deliver tomorrow. I'm going to take this inside now and get some studio shots. So you'll be able to see those on my website at just hashtag Earl Hill Studios. You'll see Facebook, my website, and several other sites as well that we might be on. So yeah, thanks for watching.